Believing in yourself is the very first step toward achieving any kind of success in life. It may sound simple, but it is often the hardest part for most people. Many individuals have incredible potential within them, but they hold themselves back because they do not trust their own ability. They let doubt creep into their mind and stop them from even trying. The truth is, every great achievement in history started with someone who dared to believe that they could make it happen. When you have self-belief, you unlock confidence, courage, and the determination to push forward no matter what stands in your way. Without it, even the best opportunities can slip away because fear and hesitation will always overpower your actions. Self-belief is not about arrogance or thinking you are better than others. It is about understanding that you have unique gifts, talents, and strengths that deserve to be expressed. Everyone has something special to offer, but not everyone recognizes it. That's why believing in yourself is so important. It allows you to step into the world knowing that your contribution matters. When you are confident in your ability, you don't wait for permission, you don't second-guess every decision, and you don't give up the moment things get tough. Instead, you take ownership of your journey and trust that even if you stumble, you will rise again. Life will always test your belief. You may encounter critics, doubters, and people who try to convince you that your dreams are unrealistic. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and times when nothing goes according to plan. This is when belief in yourself becomes your strongest weapon. When no one else sees your vision, you have to be the one who carries it forward. History is filled with examples of people who were told they would fail but proved everyone wrong simply because they refused to stop believing. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb, but his unwavering belief in himself allowed him to persist. Oprah Winfrey faced rejection and hardship, but she believed in her potential and became one of the most influential women in the world. These examples remind us that self-belief is not optional, it is essential. One of the most powerful ways to build self-belief is through positive self-talk. The way you speak to yourself shapes the way you act. If you constantly tell yourself you are not good enough, your actions will follow that belief. On the other hand, if you affirm that you are capable, strong, and ready, your behavior will align with that mindset. Success begins in the mind long before it appears in reality. Every time you choose to focus on your strengths instead of your weaknesses, you fuel your belief. Every time you remind yourself of past victories, even small ones, you reinforce the idea that you are capable of overcoming challenges. Belief also grows through action. You cannot just sit and wish for confidence to appear. You build it by doing. Each time you take a step forward, even a small one, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite the fear. When you try something new and succeed, your belief expands. Even when you fail, you learn and become stronger, which also increases your belief. That's why action is the fuel that keeps self-belief alive. Another important factor is the environment you surround yourself with. If you spend time with people who constantly criticize or discourage you, your belief will weaken. But if you surround yourself with people who uplift you, support your dreams, and remind you of your strengths, your belief will grow stronger. Success is never built alone, and having the right energy around you can make a huge difference in how much you trust yourself. Ultimately, belief in yourself is the foundation on which every dream is built. You can have talent, resources, and opportunities, but if you don't believe in your ability to use them, they will go to waste. On the other hand, even if you have limited resources, Your belief can drive you to create opportunities where none seem to exist. The moment you truly decide to trust yourself, you stop waiting for external approval and start building the life you want. You stop letting fear dictate your choices and start walking the path of courage. So, whenever doubt enters your mind, remind yourself that success is not about being perfect, it is about being persistent. Believe that you are worthy, believe that you are capable, and believe that your dreams are possible. That belief is the spark that will keep your fire burning through every challenge, and it will be the reason you achieve success when others give up. It all begins with you, and the power of believing in yourself is the most valuable tool you will ever carry on your journey to success. Setting clear goals and staying focused is one of the most powerful principles for success. Without goals, you move through life without direction, simply reacting to circumstances instead of shaping them. Goals give you a target to aim for, a purpose that fuels your actions, and a vision that guides your decisions. Imagine a ship without a destination. No matter how strong the sails or how experienced the crew, it will drift endlessly. In the same way, a person without goals can spend years working hard but never truly progress toward meaningful achievements. When you set clear goals, you take control of your future. You no longer leave your success to chance because you have a plan that points you where to go. Clarity is the key. A vague goal like "I want to be successful" or "I want to be happy" doesn't give your mind a clear direction. Success and happiness mean different things to different people, so your goals must be specific to you. For example, saying, "I want to build a business that earns a certain amount of revenue in 2 years," or "I want to complete a degree in a chosen field," provides a clear picture of what success looks like. Specific goals help you break big dreams into smaller, actionable steps. This makes the process less overwhelming and gives you a roadmap to follow. Focus is what transforms those goals into reality. It is easy to get distracted in today's world. Social media, constant notifications, and endless opportunities to waste time can pull your attention away from what matters. Focus is about keeping your eyes on the target even when distractions call your name. Think about an archer aiming at a bullseye. The only way they hit the target is by blocking out everything else and keeping their vision steady. Similarly, when you focus on your goals, you block out distractions and put your energy where it matters most. Staying focused also requires discipline. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you going. There will be days when you don't feel like working toward your goals. There will be moments when the journey feels too hard or progress seems too slow. This is when discipline matters most. Discipline is the ability to push forward regardless of how you feel, trusting that consistent effort will bring results. Success is not about working hard once in a while. It's about working consistently over time toward your goals. Another important aspect of setting clear goals is writing them down. Studies have shown that people who write their goals are far more likely to achieve them. Writing makes your goals real. It takes them from being vague ideas in your head and turns them into something tangible. Once you write them down, you can review them daily, track your progress, and remind yourself of why you started. This simple act keeps your goals alive in your mind and prevents you from losing sight of them. It is also important to set deadlines. A goal without a deadline is just a wish. Deadlines create urgency, and urgency drives action. When you know you have limited time, You prioritize better and avoid procrastination. Deadlines don't have to be overwhelming. They can be small time frames for small tasks that build up to bigger achievements. The key is to make progress visible so you feel accomplished and motivated to keep going. Of course, along the way, you will face obstacles. Life will test your commitment to your goals, and setbacks are inevitable. But when your goals are clear and your focus is strong, obstacles become stepping stones instead of roadblocks. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than reasons to quit. Your goals remind you of the bigger picture, keeping you moving forward even when the journey is tough. It's also crucial to celebrate small victories. Every step you take toward your goal is progress, and recognizing it boosts your motivation. Success is not only about the final destination, it's also about appreciating the journey and how far you've come. When you reward yourself for staying focused, you reinforce the habit of persistence. Finally, goals are not set in stone. Life changes, and sometimes your vision will too. It's okay to adjust your goals if they no longer align with your values or circumstances. What matters most is that you always have a target, a sense of direction, and the focus to move toward it. Success is not about being perfect, but about being purposeful, consistent, and focused on what truly matters to you. When you set clear goals and stay focused, you give yourself the power to turn dreams into reality. You stop living by chance and start living by choice. Each day becomes meaningful because you are working towards something bigger than yourself. Success doesn't happen overnight, but with clarity, focus, and determination, you will find yourself achieving things you once thought were impossible. Hard work combined with consistency and discipline is one of the greatest secrets behind lasting success. Many people dream of achieving big things, but very few are willing to put in the effort required day after day, especially when progress feels slow or challenges appear. The truth is, talent and intelligence may open doors, but without hard work and consistency, those doors eventually close. Success is built brick by brick through the repeated actions of someone who refuses to give up, even when it feels easier to quit. Discipline is the glue that holds everything together, ensuring that effort is not just temporary, but becomes a lifestyle that drives results over time. Hard work is about giving your best effort, going beyond what is comfortable, and pushing yourself to achieve more than you thought possible. It means being willing to do what others are not prepared to do, whether that is staying late to perfect a skill, practicing relentlessly, or studying harder than anyone else. People who succeed are not always the most talented, but they are the ones who are willing to put in the hours when no one is watching. Hard work develops character because it teaches patience, resilience, and sacrifice. Every time you work hard, you are not just building skills, you are building a mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity. Consistency is what turns hard work into lasting results. Working hard once in a while will not take you far. You might feel motivated for a week, put in a huge amount of effort, and then lose focus when things get tough. This is why consistency matters so much. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when progress seems invisible. Imagine planting a seed. If you water it only once in a while, it will never grow. But if you water it daily, eventually it will sprout, and with continued care, it will turn into a strong tree. Success works the same way. Your consistent daily habits compound over time, creating results that seem impossible at the beginning. Discipline is the engine that makes consistency possible. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline ensures you keep moving forward. Discipline is choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. It's saying no to distractions so you can say yes to your future. Discipline may feel uncomfortable at first, but over time it becomes a habit. For example, waking up early to work on your goals may be difficult initially, but when you make it part of your routine, it becomes second nature. Discipline is not about being perfect, it is about being committed. It teaches you to stay on track even when you are tired, discouraged, or tempted to take the easy path. There is a common saying that success is not built in a day, but it is built every day. This captures the essence of hard work, consistency, and discipline. Small, repeated efforts produce massive results over time. A writer who writes a single page each day will finish a book within a year. An athlete who trains every day will eventually outperform those who only practice when they feel like it. A student who studies consistently will achieve better results than one who crams at the last moment. Greatness is not about one big action. It's about thousands of small, disciplined actions repeated consistently. Another important truth is that hard work with consistency beats raw talent when talent is lazy. Many people are gifted, but if they lack discipline, they fail to use their gifts fully. On the other hand, someone with average talent but extraordinary consistency can rise above everyone else. Hard work levels the playing field, giving anyone the chance to succeed if they are willing to be persistent and disciplined. Of course, working hard doesn't mean working without purpose. It is important to combine effort with smart planning. Discipline should not feel like punishment. It should feel like progress. When you focus your hard work in the right direction and stay consistent, you maximize results. Every day becomes a step closer to your goal, and over time, the distance between where you are and where you want to be grows smaller. There will be times when progress feels slow or invisible. These are the moments that test your discipline the most. It's easy to work hard when you see quick results, but true success comes from those who keep pushing even when results take longer. This is when consistency is most powerful. It keeps you moving forward until the results catch up. Every champion, every leader, and every successful person has gone through seasons of struggle where their only advantage was the ability to keep working consistently while others gave up. At the end of the day, success does not come to those who wait for the perfect moment or rely only on talent. It comes to those who wake up every day ready to work hard, who stay consistent in their efforts, and who practice the discipline to keep going no matter what. When you build these qualities, you create unstoppable momentum. You become someone who doesn't just chase success, you create it through daily actions. Failure is often seen as something negative, something to be ashamed of, or something to avoid at all costs. Yet the truth is, failure is one of the most powerful teachers in life. Every person who has achieved success has walked through the doors of failure many times before reaching their goals. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up lies in how they view failure. Some people see it as the end of the road, while others see it as a stepping stone. If you can learn to treat failures as opportunities to grow, you will find that they are not obstacles, but essential parts of your journey to success. When you fail, it means you tried. You stepped out of your comfort zone and attempted something new. That in itself is progress, because success never comes to those who only play it safe. Each failure provides feedback, showing you what doesn't work and guiding you toward what might. For example, Thomas Edison famously said he didn't fail 1,000 times when working on the light bulb. He simply discovered 1,000 ways that didn't work. That mindset allowed him to keep moving forward until he finally succeeded. Failure, then, is not defeat. It is information, a lesson, a guide that redirects you toward a better path. One of the greatest benefits of failure is that it builds resilience. When you fail and choose to get back up, you strengthen your character and develop the mental toughness needed for long-term success. Life will never be free of challenges, and if you expect everything to work perfectly, you will constantly feel disappointed. But when you accept that failure is part of the process, you stop fearing it. Instead of being discouraged by setbacks, you start using them as fuel. You realize that each failure brings you closer to finding the solution. This resilience is what separates those who eventually succeed from those who quit after the first setback. Failure also teaches humility. It reminds you that no matter how skilled or talented you are, you still have room to grow. It keeps you grounded and open to learning. When you fail, you become more willing to listen, to seek advice, and to adapt. This humility prevents arrogance and encourages continuous improvement. Many great leaders and innovators credit their failures for shaping their wisdom and strengthening their vision. Without those moments of falling short, they would not have developed the humility and openness that helped them reach greater heights. Another lesson failure offers is perspective. It helps you recognize what truly matters. Sometimes, failure redirects you away from something that wasn't truly aligned with your values or purpose, and pushes you towards something better. What looks like a loss in the moment can later reveal itself to be a blessing in disguise. Many people discover their true passions only after failing at something else. Failure forces you to reflect, to dig deeper, and to ask yourself important questions about your path. In that sense, failure can be a compass pointing you toward where you are truly meant to go. It is also important to remember that failure is temporary unless you allow it to be permanent. Quitting is the only true failure. Every setback can be turned around if you are willing to keep trying. Each mistake is an opportunity to adjust your approach, sharpen your skills, and come back stronger. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders all face failure regularly, but they don't let it define them. Instead, they use it as a stepping stone. The mindset shift from "I failed" to "I learned" is what keeps progress alive. Another way to turn failure into an opportunity is by analyzing it. Instead of running from the disappointment, sit with it, reflect on what went wrong, and identify what you can do differently. Did you lack preparation? Did you let distractions get in the way? Did you give up too early? Honest reflection transforms failure into a powerful learning tool. Each lesson learned prevents you from repeating the same mistake, which means failure is actually helping you grow faster than success ever could. Finally, embracing failure removes fear. Most people never start working toward their dreams because they are too afraid to fail. But once you experience failure and survive it, you realize it is not the end of the world. You become bolder, more willing to take risks, and more confident in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. The people who achieve greatness are not those who never fail, but those who fail, learn, and keep moving forward. In the end, failure is not your enemy. It is your teacher, your guide, and your partner in success. Every failure carries within it a seed of wisdom, and if you nurture it, that wisdom will lead you to greater strength and clearer direction. Instead of running from failure, embrace it, because the lessons it brings are often the exact ones you need to unlock your next level of growth. Remember, success is built not on avoiding mistakes, but on learning from them, adapting, and continuing to move forward. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success, and those who understand this truth are the ones who ultimately achieve their dreams. The people you surround yourself with play a huge role in shaping the person you become and the level of success you achieve. Human beings are deeply influenced by the environment they live in, and your circle of friends, colleagues, and mentors either lifts you higher or drags you down. If you want to achieve great things in life, you must be intentional about choosing the company you keep. Surrounding yourself with positivity and growth-minded people creates an atmosphere of encouragement, support, and inspiration that helps you stay on track with your goals. While negative and toxic people can drain your energy, cloud your vision, and weaken your confidence, positivity is powerful because it shapes your mindset. When you are around people who believe in possibilities instead of limitations, you start to see opportunities everywhere. Positive people have a way of turning problems into challenges and challenges into victories. Their outlook is not naive optimism, it is a mindset that focuses on solutions rather than complaints. When you spend time with individuals who radiate positivity, their energy becomes contagious. They motivate you to believe in yourself, to keep going when things get tough, and to find light even in dark times. On the other hand, being surrounded by constant negativity makes it difficult to see beyond your struggles. Negative voices create self-doubt and fear, making you question your potential. This is why protecting your environment is essential for growth. Growth-minded people are equally important because they challenge you to improve and evolve. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. People with this mindset don't settle for mediocrity. They are always looking for ways to become better. When you are surrounded by such individuals, you naturally adopt their habits. You become more willing to learn, to take on challenges, and to see failure as an opportunity for growth instead of a setback. Growth-minded people push you to aim higher, not by criticizing you, but by showing you through their own actions what is possible. They inspire you to stretch beyond your comfort zone and remind you that progress is more important than perfection. The right circle also holds you accountable. When you are around people who are ambitious and disciplined, you are less likely to give in to laziness or excuses. Their presence pushes you to stay consistent because you don't want to fall behind. Being accountable to a supportive community keeps you committed to your journey. This is why successful people often say that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those people are positive, ambitious, and focused, you will naturally rise to their level. If they are negative, stagnant, and full of excuses, you risk adopting the same habits. It is also important to have mentors and role models in your circle. These are individuals who have walked the path you want to follow and can provide guidance, wisdom, and encouragement. A mentor can help you avoid mistakes, stay focused on your vision, and remind you of your potential when you doubt yourself. Learning from someone who has already achieved what you aspire to achieve can accelerate your growth and give you the confidence to keep moving forward. Of course, surrounding yourself with positivity and growth-minded people does not mean cutting off everyone else completely. Sometimes negative people are family members, colleagues, or individuals you cannot avoid. In such cases, it is about setting boundaries and limiting the amount of influence they have over your mindset. You cannot control everyone around you, but you can control how much space you give them in your life. Protect your energy by spending more time with people who uplift and inspire you than those who pull you down. Another important point is that you must also be the kind of person others want to be around. Surrounding yourself with positivity is not just about receiving, it's about giving as well. Be the person who encourages others, who uplifts when someone is struggling, and who shares a growth mindset. When you radiate positivity yourself, you attract the same energy back into your life. Growth-minded people want to be around those who share their drive and optimism. So if you want a strong, supportive circle, start by being a source of positivity and growth for others. In the end, success is not a solo journey. While your hard work and discipline matter, the company you keep will influence whether you stay consistent and motivated or whether you get distracted and discouraged. Choose wisely because your circle shapes your vision, your energy, and your belief in what's possible. Surround yourself with positivity and growth-minded people, and you will create an environment that constantly fuels your progress. They will remind you of your strengths when you forget, encourage you when you hesitate, and celebrate with you when you succeed. Life is too short to spend with people who drain your energy or limit your dreams. By choosing the right company, you create the best possible conditions for your success and happiness. Dreaming is where success begins, but action is what brings those dreams to life. Many people have great ideas, big ambitions, and inspiring visions of what they want their life to look like, but only a few turn those dreams into reality. The difference lies in action. Dreams without action remain nothing more than thoughts in your mind, while action transforms them into achievements you can touch and see. Taking action is the bridge between imagination and success, and without it, even the most brilliant dreams fade away with time. The reason action is so important is because it creates momentum. You might feel uncertain, unprepared, or afraid when you start, but once you take the first step, things begin to move. Action breaks the cycle of hesitation and fear. It doesn't matter how small the step is. What matters is that you move forward. A person who acts, even imperfectly, is always ahead of someone who spends years waiting for the perfect moment. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. Conditions will never be completely right, and waiting only delays progress. The only way to grow is to act now with what you have where you are. Taking action also builds confidence. Many people believe they must feel confident before they act. But the reality is the opposite. Confidence comes from action. Every time you take a step forward, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Even if the result isn't perfect, you learn something valuable that makes you stronger for the next step. This cycle of acting, learning, and improving builds unshakable confidence over time. On the other hand, when you delay action, your doubts grow louder and fear becomes stronger. The more you wait, the harder it becomes to start. That is why action is the best cure for self-doubt. Another reason action is so powerful is because it brings clarity. You may not always know the exact path to success, and that is okay. What matters is starting. Many people think they need to have every detail figured out before they move, but in reality, clarity comes through action. When you take steps toward your dream, you discover new opportunities, learn what works and what doesn't, and refine your direction along the way. Success is rarely a straight line. It is built through trial, error, and adjustment, but none of that happens without action. You cannot think your way to success. You must act your way there. Action also separates dreamers from doers. Everyone dreams, but only those who take consistent action achieve. The world is full of people with incredible potential who never act on it. They talk about what they will do someday, but someday never comes. Doers, on the other hand, understand that time is precious. They don't wait for luck or the right circumstances. They create opportunities by moving forward. Their dreams become goals, their goals become actions, and their actions produce results. That is why people who take action often succeed, even if they start with fewer resources or less talent than others. Taking action does not mean you will never fail. In fact, failure is often part of the journey. But failure through action is valuable because it teaches you lessons you would never learn by standing still. Every mistake carries wisdom, and every setback makes you stronger. People who take action may stumble, but they always move closer to their dream. People who avoid action because of fear of failure remain stuck where they are. In the end, it is better to fail while trying than to regret never trying at all. Another important point about action is consistency. Taking action once is not enough. True success comes from daily, repeated action that compounds over time. Just as one workout does not make you fit, and one study session does not make you an expert, one action will not create success. But when you act consistently, no matter how small the steps, the results begin to build. Action becomes habit, and habit becomes progress. Consistent action transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Most importantly, action creates opportunities. When you act, doors begin to open that would have remained closed if you had waited. You meet new people, gain new experiences, and attract possibilities that align with your efforts. Life rewards those who act because action shows commitment. The universe, opportunities, and even people respond to energy, and action is the ultimate display of energy. By doing, you set forces in motion that bring you closer to your dream in ways you could never predict. At the end of the day, dreaming is important, but it is only the beginning. Dreams inspire you, but action transforms you. Dreams show you what is possible, but action makes it real. The people who achieve great things are not the ones who simply dream big. They are the ones who back up those dreams with relentless action. They understand that waiting will not change anything, but doing will change everything. So take that first step, however small it may be. Do not just dream about the life you want. Take action and create it.